This conference will now be recorded.
Hey guys, this is Naveen here. Welcome back to Naveen Automation Labs. So today this topic is very interesting. I promised to create a video on this particular topic so many times, but I could not fulfill my promise. But yeah, today finally I'm coming with this topic that how to make the connection with database and how to create a database on your system and through through Docker containers, sorry, not Jenkins, through Docker containers we can create it, and then how to do that. So for doing this, guys, this topic is very interesting, and then you can practice SQL also, and then you can integrate with your Selenium and Java code as well. So I'll show you the how to integrate with Java code and how to create the database utilities and all those things. Some basic utilities we will write for making the connection with the database. And then if you really want to practice your SQL queries also, you guys can easily practice. And this is something very interesting that what exactly we will do, that we will create one Docker image, and then we will create one container for MySQL server. So we will be using MSSQL Server, Microsoft SQL Server, and the official image is already available on their on Docker Hub. You can get it from there. In the description link also, I'll send you the exact command that which official image that you have to use it, and what you just need to do. Make sure that your Docker is running on your system. If you haven't seen Docker, what is Docker and how to install Docker and all those things, please watch my Docker series. Go to my playlist and check the Docker play series. Okay, and you will get complete idea about what is Docker, how to start the Docker, how to install the Docker, and everything. Right. So right now you can see that I simply write docker ps minus a. My Docker is up and running, and you can see only two containers are available. And then if you see the Docker images, I really don't have any image for MS SQL Server, right? So first we have to do one thing, that let me clear the screen. We have to start the container. Okay, so simple, right? Docker run. This is the official image that you will be getting from there, from a Docker Hub. You can get it. I can show it to you also later. And then let's see, I'm giving some name. I'm giving, let's see, Naveen SQL. This is the name I'm giving. And then three important things, guys, you have to use. Three environment variables minus E. You have to accept the license agreement. Simple, right? Accept underscore EULA. Okay, is equal to Y. This is the first one. Second one is you have to write your password. So SA underscore password, and some strong password you have to follow, guys. So you have to write, let's see, I'm simple writing my one letter is capital at the rate one special character 12345, something like this. And then what is the port number? So the port forwarding I'll be using 1433 to 1433. By default, SQL Server will be executing on 1433 on your local machine. And then as simple, right? This is the image name, mcr.microsoft. Obviously, this is provided by Microsoft. So mcr.microsoft.com, and simple, right? MSSQL server vnext. Okay, and then CTP 2.0. So you don't need to remember the command base, you just need to copy paste CTP 2.0, and this is an Ubuntu Linux image. Okay, like this. So I'll give this particular command, and then let's see. It's saying that image is currently not available on my system, so it will download the image from Docker Hub. Okay. So let it run, and it will take around 3 to 4 minutes to, it depends on your internet speed, and it will, you can see that this particular image is quite heavy. You can see around 414 MB. So let it download the entire image, and then automatically it will start the container, and then we will see what is the next thing that we have to use it. So let's wait for 2 minutes, and then, so yeah, so this is the last image. So let it run. My internet speed is quite fast, so that's why it's running very fast. It depends on your internet speed as well. So make sure you are connected to internet, guys, then only it will download the image, and then only your container will be started. So let's wait for a couple of minutes. I think it will be very quick. Already 170 MB is done. 180, 190. Perfect. So yeah, it's quite fast. So let's wait for 1 more minute and then we will see. Yeah, around 260 MB is done. Then yeah. So it's a quite heavy image, overall more than 500 MB. But yeah, so that's the official image. I'll give you this particular command, whatever the command I'm using it over here. You just need to hit this command. Make sure your Docker daemon is running on your system. Docker is running. You can see my Docker daemon is already running over here. You can see the Docker desktop is running. And if you are using the Windows also, same command you have to execute for Windows as well. So yeah, it's almost done. And now it's simple extracting this particular image. And once the image is extracted, it will start the container automatically. So this is a process with Docker run. Docker run will check locally first that image is available or not. If it is not there, it will go to hub and then it will take the image from there and then it will start the container, right? So yeah, so almost done. I'll come over here and quickly check the Docker ps -a, and here you can see that my server is up and running and the container is up and running. This is the container ID and the name. This is the name we have given, Naveen SQL, and this is the image ID. You can see this is the image we are using and created around 11 seconds ago, and it's up and running on my local server on my local machine 1433. Right? Yeah, you can see it's up and running. Right? Once again, like this, you can see up and running from last 42 seconds. It means my server is installed. See, this is so quick, though so fast through Docker. It's so easy to download MySQL Server, right? MSSQL Server. This is super easy. Otherwise, you would have to download some heavy images and then you have to configure your environment variables or some system settings. You have to do it. But here we don't need to do anything. Automatically, my MS SQL app will be up and running. My server is up and running on my system now, right? That's it. After that, what you have to do, guys, you have to install one command line SQL query executor, right? So that we can execute our, you know, we can execute our SQL queries and everything. So what you need to do that you need to download one SQL CLI command line. Okay, SQL CLI command line for Mac as well as for Windows, so that you can execute your SQL queries. I'll show you how to do that. So what you need to do, you need to run this particular command npm install. Through npm we have downloaded. This is a node-based installer. Simple write -g means globally, and I need SQL -CLI. So then you simple run it. npm install -g SQL CLI. And why I'm installing this SQL CLI? SQL CLI is used to execute the SQL queries on your database server. So the SQL SLI is okay, updated, and it's already available on my system. You guys can also download with this particular command. So I'll give you this particular command in the description. You can get it over there. After that, what we need to do, the second step is we have to connect to the SQL server. Right. So what is happening, guys, over here, that the server is started over here. This is my server. The SQL server is already started. Right. This is my server. But we need one client so that we can hit the queries over here. So all these tables, databases, and everything I'll be creating over here, right? So this is the client, and the client is this SQL CLI. So there are different clients are available. SQL CLI is the command line client, because I don't want to download any third party. Let's say you can download SQL Developer, or you can use some other thing like say Toad also you can download. Okay, so all these are different UI commands are available where you can hit the queries, you can start the queries. You just need to make the connection with the database. But we will be using command line SQL CLI. It's good, it's very lightweight, and you can directly execute your queries inside the terminal, inside the command prompt. You don't need to download any other software for that. Okay, so that's it. So now what I have to do, I have to make the connection with this SQL Server. The SQL Server connection, how will you make it? So for that, what you need to do, you simply write MSSQL minus U means the username. So what is the username of your server? So the username, if you remember, we haven't given any username. When we started, we have given simple password, right? This is the password, but username we haven't given. We have accepted the license agreement, but username we haven't given. So by default, username is SA, system admin. Okay, and simple write minus p for password, and whatever your password is there. So password that we have given, my password at the rate 12345. See guys, you have to give the password like this only. Okay, some strong password you have to give, otherwise it will not create the container. So this is my password, MSSQL minus U SA minus P, my password at the rate 12345, and then you run it. And it's saying you get that, okay, yeah, connecting to localhost, done. And the SQL CLI version this, and now I'm into MSSQL mode. Here I can execute my queries, right? Like this. Now I want to see that, okay, how many databases are already there in this particular, okay, how many system databases are already there. So I simply write select name from master dot dbo dot system databases. Okay, system, just a minute. Sys databases, not system, sorry, my mistake. Sys data basis. So now you can see that it's having around 4 databases: master, temporary database, model, and MSDB. So we will create first, we will create our own database, right guys? So how will you create your own database? You simply write create, okay, database, and whatever the database you want to create. So let's see, I want to create a database. Let's see, training database. My database name is training data or training database. Simple write create database training. It's saying database got created, and then I'll again hit the previous query. It's saying training database got created. Now this is a user defined database that you have already created, and these are the system defined database. All other important system defined tables and everything are available over here, but we will be creating the training database. So whenever we create a new row or something or new table, now all the tables will be created inside the training database, right? Now what I'm going to do that yeah, sorry, what I'm going to do that I have to create a table over here. So how will you create a table, right? Then only we can hit all the queries, select queries, and all those things. So I simply write create a table. Let's see, create command, create into, I'll create one table. My table name is person table. Let's see, whatever, employee table, user table, person table. So first I have to define the schema of the table, that create into persons, and what is the person ID. So I'll be using, let's see, person ID. The person ID will be an integer. Okay, I'll do one thing, let me write it like this. Sorry, persons, and I simply write that person ID is a column name. The first column should be person ID, right? And it should be an integer. So I define the schema like this, and then the person last name, I'll write something like this, that last name, and last name should be in varchar. So the varchar should be 255, and then I'll be writing the first name, varchar 255, and address will be always in varchar. Okay, alphabetic characters, alphanumeric character we can write 255, and then let's see, I want to see that, okay, in which city you are, that particular person. So city always will be in varchar. So here instead of string we write varchar, and person ID will be an integer. We will be using integer only. So 255, and then that's it. So this is a once table will be created inside this particular database. Incorrect syntax, keyword into. Okay, we have to write create table only. Sorry, that's my mistake. Let me write create table, not into. We are not inserting the data. We have to write table. create the table. Here capital letter, small letter, that doesn't matter. And then yeah, perfect, it's saying okay. And then I'll hit the query, select star from persons. Now you can see there are 0 rows, but this is got created, right guys? So this is got created, that the table got created. Okay, let me check the describe is working or not. Describe table. Let me write. Okay, that's fine. Describe is not working. It works in Oracle, or maybe I don't remember the exact syntax for describe. Describe table means that what exactly the metadata, how many columns are there, what are the different properties of that particular table. You can simply write it over there with the describe. But anyway, let's forget about this thing. Now what I'm going to do, the data got created. Now I have to insert the data. Okay, over here. So for inserting the data, we will be using insert into which table, the persons table, and what exactly the first, okay, the columns. So my columns are this: person ID, comma, last name, comma, first name, comma, address, comma, city, like this. And what are the different values you will be using? So I'll be using values, and now I'll be giving the values. Let's see, my employee person ID is 1 in integer, right? Employee first name is Tom, or let's see, Naveen is the first name, comma, and person ID, last name, and first name. So I have to write my last name first. So let's see, I'm writing only K, and then Naveen, comma, and address. So let's see, my address is Springfield, like this, comma, and the city is Bangalore. Okay, so let's see, the data column first name is specified more than once. Okay, oops, sorry, my mistake. Today I'm doing a lot of mistakes. Okay, just a second. These are typos. Okay, first name, last name, person ID, last name, first name, and city. So 3 plus 2, 5, and person ID, last name, person ID, last name, first name, varchar, and after that we have to write address also. Yeah. Address, comma, city. So 3 plus 2, 5 columns and 5 values. Now let's see. Yeah, it's saying okay. Now I'll hit the query once again. Select star from persons. Right guys, select star from person. Now you can see that data got created, right? Data got created over here. So likewise, I'll do one thing. I'll just create one more data, and now this time I'm using the person ID is 2. So I'm not using any primary key concept. So let's see, I'm using 2. Now this time is I'm using the last name is let's see, S, and the first name is Tom, and Tom is staying somewhere Hollywood Avenue, and city is Los Angeles, LA. So this also got created. Now you can see there are 2 rows, right? Person ID, 1 for Naveen and Tom, like this, simple, perfect, right? So this is the SQL database got created, and then I'm actually inserting the data. You can hit the queries over here, different joins and everything. Now whatever the query you want to execute, any kind of SQL query, you can simply practice over here. So directly it's on the command line from the command prompt. Perfect. Okay. Now what I have to do, that I have to do the same thing through Eclipse, through my Java code, so that same thing you can use it for your Selenium point of view also. If you want to use for data driven point of view, or if you want to fetch any test data from database, or you want to insert a data into the database, for all those things you guys easily can do it over here. Okay, so for that, what I have to do that I've already, just a second, let me show you one file. One second. Oops, just a second. Uh, Let me one second. Let me share the screen once again first. Sometimes my laptop is okay. I think it's visible now once again. Yeah. Okay. Now see, what I'm saying is that I've already created one package, database util. So I was doing some utility practice over there. So this, I'll tell you the exact code that what exactly the kind of code that you have to make the connection with the database. That's an interview question, right? Write the code to make the connection with the database and how will you get the data from the table and all those things. How will you do that? Or how will you insert the data? How will you hit the select query from the Java code like this? So Selenium does not provide any API guys. First of all, remember, through Selenium, I cannot do it. You have to use Java. Selenium is only for browser automation, right? So through Java, we have to do it. So what I'm going to do that this package is already created, the Maven project. You don't need to add any kind of dependency. Simple. You simply go to create a class in package, and let's see my package class name is database util. Select the main method and click on finish. And what you need to do that here we have to make the connection with the database. So now, just like we did it with SQL CLI from the terminal, right? My server is up and running. We just need to make the connection through the database, and then we are good to go. So what we need to do, guys, that you need to use a couple of things. First of all, you have to create the connection with database. Okay, create database connection. So how will you do that? For making this particular thing, what you need to do that let's see, you have to maintain two things first. That what is your driver? So for every SQL database, there is a driver string is there. I'm not talking about WebDriver. I'm talking about a driver string which will help you to make the connection with the database. For Oracle, we have separate driver. For SQL Server, we have separate driver. For MySQL Server, we have a separate driver. For IBM2, we have a separate driver. So for every SQL-based database, there is a driver that you have to use it. So let's see, I'm using my driver is equal to, and this is the thing you have to use it, which is provided by Microsoft only. You can find this particular driver string from Microsoft website. So I just got it from there only. So Microsoft dot jdbc dot SQL server. So this is a JDBC driver, guys. You have to use it, then only it will work. SQL server driver. I'll give this entire code. Don't worry about that. So whenever you have to make the connection, you have to use this particular driver. And then what exactly the URL? So URL I'll be using. Let's see. The localhost is running on localhost 1433. So what do you need to do? This is a JDBC, the domain name colon SQL server colon and then localhost colon 1433. You have to use it. So this is a URL to make the connection to the server where exactly my SQL server is running. The SQL server is running over there, right? So JDBC SQL server colon / localhost 1433. This is a standard thing. You have to use it. After that, what we have to do that there is a class, a driver manager class. Okay, driver manager, which is coming from java.sql package, and this package is already available in Java in JDK. So simple, right? Driver manager dot get connection method, and here you have to pass the URL. So what is my URL? Let's see. I'll write this is my URL. Okay, so the URL is this my URL. Okay, you have to make the connection, and then you have to pass that what is the username. for making the connection. My username is systemadmin SA. And what is the password? My password that we have created when we created the Docker container, right? For the SQL Server, that time we have given the password, the same password, myPassword @12345. Make sure guys your username password is correct. So SA is the default username. You have to use it like this. And then it will give you one try catch block. If any kind of error or something, then you can write one try catch block over here. Okay. So then this guy will make the connection, and driver.get connection will give you one connection reference. Can you see that? It will give you one connection reference. So what I'll do, I declare one string connection over here. Let's see connection con, and then sorry, not the string. And then I'll be using con is equal to something like this, and connection you have to import from java.sql package. Okay. So connection will be established with all these details. So you have to pass the correct username, correct password, then only connection will be established. After that, what you need to do that you need to okay, you need to use one method with connection, that con dot one method is there guys, create the statement. Con dot create a statement method is there. Okay, create a statement, and this create a statement method will return one statement reference over here. So what I have to do, I'll store inside the statement reference. So I'll simply write statement, let's see stmt, and import this statement from java.sql, and this stmt is equal to this. So statement has been established. After that, what you need to do, that you just need to use, okay, with the same statement, okay, with the same statement you have to use stmt dot one method is there that execute your query, and here you have to pass your SQL. So now here we have to pass the SQL string, that what you want, that I want to insert a value over here, right? Insert into a particular table. So just the way we have tried over here, that insert into. So I'll just copy this entire string, and I simply pass it over here. So let's see, I simply write, this is my string. I simply write insert query is equal to, in double quotes, this is my string over here. Okay, like this. And then the same insert query, I have to use it over here. Fine. So you can see that. And this time I'm going to create the value number 3, ID is 3. And this time, let's see, I'm creating one value, that is, okay, last name is D. Okay, Peter, and I'm writing Summers Avenue and New York. This is the data I'm going to create. And then simple, hit the query, execute the query. And when you execute the query, guys, what will happen? Simple data will be executed over there. Data will be inserted over there. Okay, so let's see till here it's working or not. So I'm going to run it. If any kind of error is there, then let's see. Then we will try to debug. It's saying no suitable driver found. Okay, so driver not found, JDBC SQL Server, localhost. Okay, JDBC colon SQL Server colon localhost 1433. Okay, this is a URL. Let me check it again. What is the error? No suitable driver found for JDBC SQL Server localhost colon 1433. Okay. Number 21, making the connection. Okay. and my.microsoft.jdbc.sql server.sql server driver. Make sure there is no spelling mistake. And I think I'm missing something. Okay, this is perfect, but I'm not passing this my driver over here, right? That's not needed. Connection, and one second, let me check it again. Okay, let me check in my other utilities, because I'm not used to with this particular code. It's only one time. So see, this is the thing. Let me do one thing, that 1433 is the exact URL we have to use it. So I'll take the same thing over here like this, and let me, okay, and this is a connection established, and then let me, okay, let me check it over here. Okay, no suitable driver found for this. Okay, once again, or let me uncomment this class.forName my driver, and then let's see. Class not found. Okay, just a second, guys. Let me debug this. Okay.
This conference will now be recorded.
Right, guys. So what we have to do, that we have to add this particular extra dependency over here. Then only it will work. Otherwise, what will happen? Some internal classes won't be able to find. So in that case, it will be failed. So now we will execute this thing once again. The data is getting inserted or not. So what I'll do this time, I'll be using, let's see, the value is 10. I'm using, let's see, D'Souza, and I'm using Anthony. And instead of New York, let's see, I'll be using Pune. Okay, so let's run it and let's see if it's working or not. So again, the statement did not return a result set. That is fine. So, or we do one thing, just a second. Okay, let me check the status over here, that how many rows are there. So you can see that data got created. You can see 10 D'Souza, Anthony, Summer Avenue, Pune. Right, guys? The data got created over here. Now what I'll do, that I'll just copy this thing, that we will copy this and then I'll use it over here. Okay, and we have one result set also. So this result set reference I'll be creating over here. Right, now see it carefully. So this is the insert query and this is a select query. Select the star from persons, and then from the person what exactly I want to do. When you execute this particular query, you will get one result set object, and from the result set object I'll start the while loop, and then I'll capture the first name, and I'll capture the get row, and then I'll print the first name over there. Now see it carefully how exactly it is working. And rs.next means until, I'll keep executing my while loop until the rs.next is not null. Okay, it means the next row is not null, so it will execute from 1 to all the rows. So now you run it and let's see what we are getting. So I'll open my console, and on my console it's still showing the statement did not return a result set. Okay, let me execute this over here. Okay, this is absolutely fine. Okay, I'll do one thing. I'll execute this particular method, this particular code. This code is having some problem that we will debug it later, but intention is to show you how can you make the connection with the database, and how can you send the data and how can you retrieve the data from the database. Okay, so now I'll change the data. Let's see, this time I'm passing 12 and I'm passing some other name. Let's see, Roy, and Merci, and I'm simple writing New York. Okay, now let's see it is working or not. You run it again. So far no error. Now you can see that it's saying Naveen, 2 Tom, 3 Tom, 4 Tom, 5 Anthony, 6 Anthony, and 7th guy is the Messi. So we are actually fetching the data from here. And then you hit the query directly once again from here. Select a star from persons. You can see 7 rows are there. Right? So now whatever the query you want to execute is, you can execute any query. Right? Like this. So let's see if I try some other query. Select star from persons where I'll write where city is equal to Pune. Okay, or I'll do one thing. I'll write person ID is equal to 2, where person ID is equal to 2. So let's say this is the query. So I just copy this entire query and then paste it over here. So I'll do one thing. I'll just comment this line and this is the query I'll be using. Okay, and select star from persons where person ID is equal to 2. So as first for cross verify this particular query over here, that this query is working fine or not over here. So you can see that 3 rows I'm getting, right? So now let's run it and let's see. So you can see only 3 rows. First ID is 1 for Tom, second for Tom, and third is also for Tom. So like that, you can manipulate your query and then manipulate your result set, what exactly you want. Okay, like this. Simple as that. Right, guys? So I'll do one thing. Get row number plus with some space. And then you run it again. So you can see that okay, 1 Tom, Tom 2, Tom 3. Okay, 1 Tom, 2 Tom, and 3 Tom. So I'll do one thing, not like this. Let it be like this only. Okay, in the next row. So this will be printed, guys, whatever the query that you want to execute, and then from the result set object. So whenever you hit the query, you will always get the result set object rs, and from the rs you will have this particular method rs.getString method, and then there are number of methods for numeric value also. You simply write rs.get. Okay, string is there, rs.get array is also there if any kind of array is available, rs.big decimal number if it is available. Okay, rs dot if any true or false value is available in the column, you have to get in the get boolean value. Okay, like this. Get date also is available, get double value is also available, get floating value is also available, and get integer value also available over here. So if you really want to fetch any string, you have to use get a string, get integer, get float. Like this you have to use it. Right, simple. Right, so let me check some other method. Get row dot, do I have anything over here? It's not there. So we will do one thing, that just comment these guys and system.out.println rs dot get, once again, rs dot okay. I want to check that 1 second, let me check some other, because so absolute, it will return integer, find column. So if you pass any, let's see, find column, if you pass the column label, let's see, I want to check what is the column for address. Okay, so it will give you that what is the column for address. So I'll do one thing, I don't want to execute this query again and again. Otherwise, what will happen? It will create so many data, so many rows, or let it be created. That's fine. You run it again. So number of methods you can explore, and accordingly you can write the utilities. So you can see that. So I'm getting for address number 4. Number 4 I'm getting. Okay, address column is 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. So rs dot find column. It means find the column. You pass the column name, and then you will get the column number. Like that also you can do it, right? So likewise guys, you guys can practice accordingly. I'm not covering all the utilities because it's up to you how exactly you're writing your SQL queries and all those things, but you have to use the result set to fetch the data. Okay, from the result set, when you get the result after hitting the query, then only you will have to apply result set, and then you have to get all the values over here, like that. Okay, so some sample code you can find it on internet, and you just need to hit the right query, and then you are good to go. So ultimately is you have to make sure that okay, your connection has been established or not. Okay, so now we don't need any my driver, so we don't need this particular driver. So this dependency we have to add it, this particular dependency we have to add it, and that's it. It will work automatically. And one more thing, that one import statement also we have to add, guys, this particular import statement, and after that it's good to go. Okay, so please try, let me know if you have any issues, and whatever the queries you are hitting in your terminal, same kind of queries you have to write it over here as well, like that, and then only it will work. Okay, so this is the video about how to make the connection with the database. So that's why I was struggling to create a database, because I really don't want to create a huge database on the system. Unnecessary. It will take around 1 GB, 2 GB of the space, and then it's difficult to configure. But through Jenkins container, through SQL containers, it's very easy. Within 5 minutes, you can set up everything, and then you guys can practice accordingly. So all these commands I'll share, and then please watch this particular video, and then let me know if you have any issues, right? So thank you so much guys, thanks for watching this particular video.